It is one of the largest school districts in the St. Louis area with no shortage of recent controversies.
On Tuesday, St. Charles County voters will decide who they want to see help lead the Francis Howell School District forward. It comes as 2 seats on the Board of Education are up for grabs. Our Caroline Hecker sat down with the candidates to learn more about their priorities and their reactions to the recent board decisions.
Home to 17,000 students, the Francis Howell School District ranks in the top 15 in Missouri. For much of the last year, several key decisions made by the current school board have come under fire. Now, some look to shake things up. 4 candidates are vying for 2 open seats. Carolee Owens is a retired teacher of 32 years. She says the current board refuses to collaborate with teachers and students, something she hopes to do.
They're doing the bidding of politicians. They're not listening to the administration or teachers or students. They've said they don't need to listen.
Owens and Stephen Blair are endorsed by the Francis Howell Forward Political Action Fund. Blair, a pastor of more than 20 years, says his value comes in the form of leading people with diverse opinions.
There's no other school district in the top school districts in Missouri that are behaving like ours are currently behaving. The best school districts are not spending their time focusing on culture wars, not spending their time focusing on one hot button issue after the other. The best school districts in all Missouri are focusing on education.
Blair and Owens are running against Adriana Kuhn and Sam Young. The pair is endorsed by Francis Howell Families, a conservative political action committee that has helped get 5 of the board's current members elected in the last 2 years. Young was unavailable for an interview due to travel. A Navy veteran and father of 4, Young says some of his priorities include fiscal responsibility, academic excellence, and removing radical activism. To which he says, quote, "The newest ideas of society should not be tested on our students. Only those ideas and values that are widely held across the local community, are consistent with our laws, and have been proven to work should be taught in the classroom."
I'd like to create an environment where the teachers and parents work more cohesively together, because I feel like our children benefit when teachers' voices are represented and parents' voices are represented.
Late last year, the Francis Howell School Board voted to remove social justice standards from Black history and Black literature courses. Within the last few weeks, a new curriculum was approved.
It needs to be shown and say, these are the lines. And I feel like if they were as extreme of lines as they had said, the more people would have looked at that and said, you know what, maybe that was too extreme. Maybe we do need to pull that out.
Some board members expressed concern over the possibility of teachers injecting their own biases into the courses.
If you don't trust them, I guess you shouldn't hire them. But you trust them to follow the curriculum and do their jobs.
I have spoken with students in that specific class, Black history and Black literature, who have said that it is being taught from an oppressive, white supremacy concept and structure.
Let them learn!
Last year, the school board also introduced a policy that would require students to use the bathroom or locker room corresponding with the sex on their birth certificate. A vote on the policy was delayed last fall. Neither Blair nor Owens would outrightly say whether they approve of a student using a bathroom opposite that of their birth certificate.
We identify what the law is, and we find a way to follow that law that ensures not only the safety of students who are transgender, but ensures the safety of other students as well.
I wouldn't know that answer until we've come to a decision, after we've all collaborated and seen what the law says. It doesn't matter what I think. It matters what the group thinks and what the law says.
Kuhn says she agrees with the policy.
It's not okay for our girls to be forced to change and undress in front of biological boys. It's not. No parents are okay with that. I'm not okay with that.
No excuse early voting is underway as Tuesday draws near. In St. Charles County, Caroline Hecker, First Alert 4.
To find out where the candidates stand on issues of fiscal responsibility, cybersecurity, and much more, you can head to our website, firstalert4.com. And for Missouri voters who want to be able to find what's on your ballot for Tuesday's general municipal election, you can find that on the First Alert 4 news app, too, on firstalert4.com. Just make sure you turn on notifications on that app. You'll be able to get instant updates on weather and news happenings.